Okay, hello. Ni Mazhar Mahathir, anak angkat Tun M. And today is May 24, 2025, roughly 1:40 AM. Okay, I'm doing this video sebab lately ni Tun M ada go around in the news, really active, ke sana ke sini, doing this, doing that, giving statements about international geopolitics. Now, ni nak bagi tahu sebenarnya tujuan dia buat semua benda tu sebab dia ada plan something in the background. Something very serious dia ada plan in the background. So sekarang ni dia tengah kelam kabut sebenarnya. Dia tengah kelam kabut sebab he needs semua politician and people dekat sini untuk takut dia. And let me explain. Benda ni sebenarnya I have other videos about these things, about what he is actually doing. And orang mesti macam wondering why kenapa tiba-tiba lately ni this past few weeks dia keluar berita, duk buat statement ni, duk buat statement tu and all sorts of things. Actually dia sekarang ni tengah gelabah. And let me explain pasal geopolitics. So hari tu dia and by the way, I am non-political, tak pernah undi, tak pernah sokong any political party, politician or anything. I'm stating this sebab I don't want to tengok people kena tipu dengan dia, kena kelentong dengan dia. Especially the Malays yang dia memang suka con, dia memang suka kelentong. Now let me explain about yang geopolitics ni. Reason why. Dia ada plan. And for dia punya plan to work, he needs all the politicians and all the people to think that he has strong international backing. Okay? So first dia keluar statement sebut pasal Anwar ni tak pandai geopolitics, dia favor China and to the detriment of US not supporting US lah in a sense. Tapi dia sebut in a sense macam must remain neutral. Okay, that's dia punya first statement. First statement dia Anwar favor China to the detriment of US. US punya support. Okay. Second, dia keluar statement tiba-tiba, and people did mention this about to me. Tiba-tiba dia keluar statement pasal Anwar pergi jumpa Putin, tapi Putin used to come over to the house in 2005, which was a long time ago. 2005. So why I'm mentioning this? Okay, as we know, China dengan Russia together. Okay, and kenapa dia keluar statement mula-mula kata you don't understand geopolitics, you are supporting China, so he wants to look good. And he wants to signal to people yang konon-kononnya US back dia. So ni orang kat bawah tak tahu, ni orang kat atas dia yang tahu. Dia daripada dulu, daripada 70s, 80s and 90s, he has had American backing. That's why dia untouchable back then, because the Americans were backing him up, right? Tapi he always covers this up. Remember, he was working with the Americans all throughout. Whether people believe it or not, orang suka kata kat sini neutral, dia pun suka cerita pasal neutral. No, sini memang allies. Daripada dulu memang allies. Remember, the communist war in the 70s, 80s, still against communism. And who was against communism at the time? US against Vietnam at the time. Vietnam before that lah, Vietnam and then so on. So he had US backing. So dia tengah signal to all the politicians that he still has American backing, which is why dia keluar statement kata Anwar tak faham kenapa sokong China, what about US. So that's the first one. The second one, dia nak cerita pasal Anwar pergi jumpa Putin. So dia nak prepare untuk dia punya plan. So dia nak the politicians and everyone untuk fikir, dia ada American backing and now dia ada Putin punya backing. Cuba fikir, Putin, Russia is with China. So kenapa dia punya statement roundabout? He's doing a roundabout statement. So dia sekarang ni tengah main middleman. Dia nak orang believe that he's got backing from both sides. Now, the reality is dia tak ada backing siapa-siapa. He needs everyone to believe that it's like the 1980s when he was PM1 and he had strong backing from the US at the time, right? So he's signaling to all the politicians, konon-kononnya he still has that backing untuk buat plot dia. So this statement is not only for the general population lah nak tahu pasal benda ni, tapi also for the politicians and people that that know about this this situation. He is trying to portray as if he has the backing of both the US and of Russia. Now let me tell you something. Putin datang visit rumah ke apa, there's nothing special. Ni pun kalau pergi overseas pun ni invite datang pergi rumah apa, it's nothing special, and it's 2005. Okay? And he has been planning something for ages, and he has started his plan since 2007, which is after 2005. Okay? So irrelevant. What happened back then is irrelevant. Even zaman tu pun proton was proton. Sekarang ni proton jili. So I tak tahu what he's talking about. He's konon-konon wants to sell the anti-China, pro-US. He wants to look like, he has American backing. That's why he dares cakap, oh, how can you side with China? But ingat, BRICS is also Russia. And at the same time, dia tengah cerita dengan orang, oh, he has Russia. Putin is close to him. Okay, ni semua nama dia propa. Okay, jangan percaya. Okay, and if you dengar pun dia punya press conference yang pasal tu, he has this guy, I can't remember his name, but this guy is basically his propaganda and script writer lah basically, yang buat sekali podcast dia. Okay, why tiba-tiba dia nak buat podcast? Because dia tahu podcast is the in thing now. He has this penyakit. Dulu masa blogs came out when he was PM, I clearly remember he wanted to ban blogs. Why? Because people were critical of him. The moment he stepped down and he had nowhere to talk because he couldn't talk in the press and whatnot, suddenly he's pro blogs. Tiba-tiba dia pula nak blog. I remember clearly he said blogs were unconstitutional. If people tak puas hati, wait till the next election. He used to say this, if you remember back in the day. Zaman dulu he used to cakap, oh, it's not right, this is bad, this is mengganggu ketenteraman awam and all these things. It's all nonsense. So the reason why you see him going here and there and treating everything like a joke, dia ada satu penyakit ni. Even issue GISBH, he did the same thing. He pivoted from the question about GISBH and the kids being raped, and then he turn it into a joke. Dia kata, boleh ke kita percaya diorang buat kursus liwat? Okay, why did he say that? Because he wanted to run away from the real question about the kids being raped and sexually assaulted. Okay, so do not percaya. He has his propaganda guy. He has his propaganda guy. How to look good, turn it into a joke. Ha 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 ha. Tun this. This is the same thing he used to do in the 80s and 90s. So people tak nampak dia punya game. Okay, so I'm telling you again, dia tengah tipu semua orang, so it looks like dia ada strong international backing. He does not have the backing of anyone anymore. Dia sekarang dah solo. Okay, he is solo. He doesn't have Putin ke US ke. He just wants to seem like he has backing. So this is especially untuk politicians and orang-orang in power or whatever. Ingat this is all dia punya scare tactics. Dia tengah besarkan diri, nampak macam dia ada backing everyone. So semua orang takut dengan dia. Everyone like, oh okay, don't mess with him. Bullshit. Benda ni semua bullshit. He's playing a game. That's why kalau you notice, benda ni happening tiba-tiba and cepat-cepat he's coming out with all these statements and whatnot, and he's out in the news and he's doing this and that. I know why. Because he has a plan. And his plan dok kantoi because I've been leaking things about what he's been doing and his plan and everything, and he's been panicking. Okay? Jangan percaya. Okay? Tak payahlah nak bawa cerita daripada 2005. 2005 proton was proton. Now proton is proton jili. Okay? China juga nak cerita kok mana. Kan? That's one thing. Second of all, why he backing US? Konon-konon dulu, anti-US. Konon-konon, Anwar is the US one, but no. I know for a fact, he has always been pro-US. Always been pro-US. Even Vision 2020. Vision 2020, he got from Israel 2020. 1 year before he came out with Vision 2020. And I know a lot of things about how he's been pro-US, pro-Israel daripada dulu, covering up for Israel, bullshitting the Islamic world and the Malays kat sini. Malays lagi satu lah, tak payah nak cakap lah. Dia duk hina Melayu daripada dulu, daripada aku kecil. macam-macam aku dengar, tapi time tu I was naive, I didn't know. I thought it was just like him, being odd or whatever, But daripada kecil, I've had so many times he's been talking bad about Malays, behind the Malays' back, and he's been talking bad about PAS, and even the Chinese and Indians, tak payah cerita lah, tu semua orang tahu. So please understand this is his game. And kenapa sekarang ni he likes to turn everything into a joke, because he knows. I used to do theatre before, and I know this thing. He disarms you with comedy. Okay? When you're laughing, when you think everything's fun and games and jokes, you lower your defenses. You don't see this thing. So everyone's laughing along, oh, ha 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 ha. Benda tu semua mind games. That's all propaganda. Right? This is what he does. And he did the same thing with the JSBH yang budak-budak kena rogol tu. Turn it into a joke. How to evade, turn it into a joke. People, ridiculous. People forget about it. So again, ingat balik, kenapa tiba-tiba dia keluar statement yang contradictory. First, don't be pro-China. China and Russia, mind you, China and Russia. You must think about US. Suddenly, I'm best pals with Putin. Sampai dia datang rumah. Nothing special, I can assure you. Nothing special. Right? Okay, I know this. Anyway, dah panjang dah ni. Just to mention, there is something going on in the background. Okay, there is something going on in the background. I have a lot of info. I have a lot of things that I've been leaking out. And it's a big thing. But I felt that I nak kena bagi tahu benda ni sebab I want all the politicians, all the people to understand he is bluffing. He is bluffing. Dia tengah tipu sekarang ni. Dia tengah bluff sebab dia nak semua orang ingat that he's in a powerful position. He's not in a powerful position. Why? Because he knows dia kantoi. Banyak benda dia kantoi. Kantoi, like I know a lot of stuff about him and his plot and all his things that he's been planning and who he's been scamming and who he's been lying to and siapa dia duk backstab and talk shit about. Okay, so anyway, dah panjang dah ni. Remember that. Dia sekarang ni tengah gelabah and it's only the illusion of strong international backing. He has none. Okay, one more thing, lupa nak bagi tahu yang pasal kenapa tiba-tiba dia sebut pasal dia nak jadi PM and pasal isu 3R ni. Ni berkait juga dengan dia punya plan yang that I know about lah, yang dia ada plan ni. Now, kenapa semua benda ni keluar one after another? Mula-mula pasal tiba-tiba dia pro US, kenapa Anwar side with China, dan tiba-tiba pasal dia best buddies dengan Putin dululah, walhal Putin was just being polite kan. And dulu lah kan. And then tiba-tiba dia nak jadi PM, lepas tu dia nak get rid of 3R. Kenapa? Because ada kaitan. Dia takut sebab dia tahu kalau orang tahu apa sebenarnya dia punya plan, and dia tak ada backup, dia habis lah. So dia punya plan is that ni semua gelabah lah ni semua gelabah. Dia nak nak jadi PM, nak get rid of 3R. And ingat dia akan selalu pakai this thing where konon-kononnya dia buat benda ni untuk rakyat, dia buat benda ni untuk rakyat. Tapi actually ingat balik dulu dia pakai bersih pun sama juga. Dia kata untuk rakyat, dia nak buat ni, dia nak buat tu. But the moment dia jadi PM tu, apa dia buat? Sorry again, I'm not political. This is just the things that I nampak depan muka and so many other things. Dia just tipu orang. Dia just putar belit and tipu orang. Now why? Why kenapa tiba-tiba dia nak jadi PM? Sebab dia tahu that a lot of people know what his actual plan is. And I've also been leaking out, and I think dia tengah gelabah sekarang ni. So the other issue, tiba-tiba dia nak jadi PM. Dia nak jadi PM because he wants power again, so that no one can question him. And dia boleh tutup lubang sana, tutup lubang sini. And also because he knows that if dia punya plan keluar and the sultans, which involves the sultans by the way, then he is in huge trouble. So he needs a way to get rid of that. Now, satu benda you have to remember how convenient. Masa dia PM or dia in power, he will always say, don't question this, don't question that. Jangan persoalkan race, jangan persoalkan agama, jangan persoalkan the sultans and all these things kan, dia duk cakap dulu. But now kenapa tiba-tiba U-turn all of a sudden? Why? There is something going on in the background. Benda ni semua bukan jadi one after another, bukan people don't know, but it is not coincidence. Benda ni memang ada sebab kenapa dia buat macam tu. Sebab dia takut. And he needs to find a way how to get rid of everyone. This is what he's trying to do. Orang tak nampak, but I know. Right? Even dulu, masa before Bersih and all these things, I told some people, I said, don't believe him. I already know he's just using it. And sure enough, dia pergunakan orang, lepas tu dia tipu. Sorry I'm not pro Anwar or anything. I tak pernah pun politik. I never believe in politics. I've never joined any political party. Daripada dulu sampai sekarang, I've never voted, tak pernah apa. Memang lantak lah orang nak kata, oh kenapa you tak vote, why you talking about these things. I'm talking about these things because I know he's been lying. Dia duk tipu Melayu dah lama gila, and banyak sangat benda. And there's a lot of things happening in the background that I think I can cover elsewhere lah in a different video, and I've already covered. But insyaAllah lah, maybe benda tu akan keluar. We'll see macam mana. But anyway, for the time being, this I think a very important thing nak kena bagi tahu. That's why. So benda ni bukan coincidence. It's not coincidence. So just so you know, he is scared and he needs to find a way where dia tak boleh di-challenge. Because he knows kalau benda ni keluar, oh dia nak attack the sultans and everything, he needs, because he knows he cannot there are checks and balances. Kalau tak ada checks and balances and his PM, habis lah. Then he can do whatever he wants. And ingat 93 ke bila yang dia tukar the constitution dan apa semua, that he can charge the sultans or whatever for crimes or something like that kan. So for complete power and control. Now nak cerita kalau orang nak kata oh this is for the benefit of another party or whatever, tak, he's gaming everyone. Dia tengah game semua orang. Benda ni sekarang ni he is solo and he is trying to game everyone because dia takut, sebab dia dah tahu he's in trouble. So this is why tiba-tiba nak jadi PM, nak get rid of 3R. Kenapa tiba-tiba U-turn pula pasal 3R ni? Why all of a sudden? I know why.